Okay, folks, we are live on. This is a short part, but with a four-part game of Henshin, which we are running for the Gauntlet. I have three other Gauntleteers with me. My name's David Walker. Henshin is. I've just kickstarted it. It is fully in development, but we're using the Kickstart here to play a Super Sentai game. Sentai being effectively Japanese superheroes who've done some quite fun world building. Atlantis is back. It's ruled by an evil queen mammoth, and new heroes are going to arise. Our heroes are all on a military base and camp, and know each other, and their new journeys are about to begin. We are playing under the Gauntlet's inclusivity policy. We have set up lines and veils, and we are using the X card. This isn't a particularly grim game, so hopefully we won't need it, but it's always useful to have it in play. So I'm going to ask everyone to introduce themselves to you and introduce their characters. I'm going to go as they appear to me on the screen and go around. So I'm going to ask Kieran to introduce themselves first. You're muted, Kieran, sorry. Everyone does that. That's a common one.
Hello,
so, hi,
I'm
Kieran.
Jade. I can speak now. I'm the youngest of the group. I'm basically a bundle of energy. I spend most of my time crafting. My outfits always have a bit of casual cosplaying, as in I'm desperately want to be the hero one day and I can't wait to become it. That is unbearable to almost everyone around me. I'm Irish. I am the Green Ranger. I just realised that's a problem, but I'll worry about that bit. In this world, islands have been conquered by Atlantis, and I wasn't there when it was conquered. The bully on campus at the base is my big brother, who is trying to toughen me up and also beat everyone else up.
Thank you very much. I'm going to cross to Will.
Hi, I'm Will, and I'm playing Akane Kasu, who is cocky and fierce, but sort of wears like very practical clothes. She's often seen running around the military base in sort of one of the smaller sets of uniforms. She likes it all being like rugged and dependable. And she has a lot of energy and a lot of anger and injustice at the world, and she wants to put it all right. A lot of that might be fueled by the fact that her mother is the infamous traitor general Killer K, who defected to the Atlantean side. Acts so treacherous and foul that her father, Hideo, won't even acknowledge that her mother still lives and just refers to her as dead.
Drama. And Sabine, let's introduce you and Ren.
Hi, I'm Sabine. I use any pronouns, and I'm playing Ren, he, him. Ren is a bit of a mad scientist vibe, I guess, socially rather awkward, but scientifically very brilliant if you ask him. If you ask his parents, yes, he is very brilliant. His parents are constantly bewildered, but quite fond of their kid. They don't understand him, but they don't need to. They make him dumplings, and he seems to enjoy that. Ren has also a robot or a droid. Looks a bit like a pear. It's a bit wobbly on their little legs, but it's very affectionate towards Ren and Ren's friends. And the fact that that Ren used some illegal tech in the design of the droid, probably very few people know, probably. Maybe Akane knows, but very few others. But it's going to be fine. It's not really dangerous or anything.
It'll all be fine. Absolutely. Famous last words. But we are on. Find the establishing questions again. We start our game, and we are based we're based in the Shinobi Academy, which is the school that's part of Shinobi Base. This is where the Earth Defense Force and International Task Force has come forward to try and defeat the forces of Atlantis, and it has not been going well for the brave armed forces of Earth. Hope seems to be lost, and 48 hours ago, Shinobi Base was attacked, and we can see there is damage on the base. All the school children have been called together in the international school. General O'Callum is the headmaster, also ex-Irish. Irish, but ex-military. He has called them together, and when we hear the assembly bell ringing for the first time, let's describe how we see Akane. Where is she, and what's she doing just before school, before the assembly bell rings? And feel free to describe how she looks as well, Will.
I think that Akane is in the bathroom, in one of the stalls, listening to a pair of girls talk about that freak who joined up with the Atlanteans, and like, how could you turn your back on your entire species like this? Like, and she's just sort of like gritting her teeth and ready to go, kind of thing. Then the bell rings, and she's like,
okay, where do we see Ren for the first time as the assembly bell rings?
Well, there is a certain protocol, I guess, that you have to follow if that bell rings. So Ren will do that because that is how things are done. And by the way, anyway, he wants to know what is going on. And so he will leave the classroom. He is wearing a school uniform. It's not the school uniform from the international school here, because I don't think they have one. But this is of his old school, and he believes that that is an acceptable thing to wear to school. So he wanders, and he's followed by Haru, of course, and tries to keep other people from jostling his little buddy.
Okay. And where do we see Jade when the assembly bell rings for the first time? And do feel free to describe Jade as well.
Jade is leaning, sort of half anxious, half excited, half confused outside the restroom that Akane is in. As in, it's kind of like, I was just waiting to meet Akane. As in, I wanted a word, but now the bell's ringing, and now I want a word, and the bell's ringing. So I'm kind of pulled between staying here and going there, and genuinely not sure which way I'm going to go. Today I am dressed in my homemade Captain Marvel jacket, which is basically a denim jacket with a kind of printed out and cut out print of Captain Marvel on the back.
Awesome. Let's cut back across to Akane, and you open the door to the toilet cubicles and see these girls look at you. How do they react the minute they see you?
I think they react with like very false kind of like over friendliness, like, oh hi Kane, oh hi, have you got this, blah blah blah, and it's like,
okay, now this is
sort
to sort of explore a little of the way that the game plays, which is with turns. Okay, when you're trying to describe what you're doing in a scene, you can describe the type of turn that you're getting. There are 5 types. Heavy, which is when you get to use your cool Power Rangers stuff, your mechs, and all the rest of it. Regular terms is something you can do all the time. Light terms about that character leaning into their archetype. Special turns, which actually give people who you're working with tokens, and then the squad turns when we're all together in big fight scenes. This might be an opportunity for a light turn for Red. Okay, so talk smack to someone more popular to you, or let your temper cloud your judgment, or you could ask one of your regular turns.
Well, I think that what happens is they're all very fake and nice, but like really patronizing as well, and they offer to like, we could give you a makeover, like like you could look good for once, kind of thing. And I think Kanye just slaps the makeup, like the proffered like mirror and makeup, like straight out of their hand, and says that like, why would I want to look like one of you?
Boom. So I'm going to give you a token for that. So you'll see an opportunity on your sheet for that, but your token up to 1 at the moment. But when you do that and you leave the room, you're going, Jesus, crazy as her mother.
Maybe the rumors are true. Maybe she really is Killer K's daughter. Like, yeah.
Ren, as you're making your way corridor towards the assembly hall, you spot the regular gauntlet of Jade's big brother and his 3 friends. Jade, what's your big brother's name? No, Kieran, Jade, or Eamon? Right, like you've typed it in there. That's
so I've done it again, Eamon.
Yeah, no problem. I love so I'm just like when I was typing in Big Brother earlier on, I think I've typed pretty much Big Bother rather than Big Brother, which is about right. But Big Bother is standing there and he's looking at you approaching Ren, and he goes, looks at you and points. He says, "Where do you think you're going, nerd?"
I think, is there a teacher nearby that I can hide behind?
No, it's just you and them in the corridor at the moment.
Okay. In that case, I will totally fail to react and thereby prove myself very ineffective, because I will ignore him like you ignore a bully. You look straight ahead, just or down, don't make eye contact, just hope if I don't really see them, maybe they don't really see me stuff, and try to just go past them.
It sort of like walks towards you and says, like, shout out and looks at you and say, "Give me your lunch money."
Oh, why would I do that?
Because you want to keep your teeth.
It seems a fair trade, I guess, but it also seems unjust.
Let's cut from there a second to Jade. You see kind of storming out of the ladies' toilet with a face like thunder. What does Jade do? You muted again, I'm afraid, mate.
Fuck it, sorry. Could I have overheard the Killer? She might be Killer K's daughter from the 2 girls being. What? There's no way. You can't be her daughter. She's a monster. It would be utterly awful to be her mother. To be your daughter. That I would. I couldn't bear that. That must be an awful thing to be said about you. Do you want me to go back and have a word with them?
No, don't put yourself to any trouble.
Okay. You are so wise and forgiving. Like I just wish I could be like you again. Yeah, just.
And you can see her like her grip, her knuckles clenching really, really hard, like, and there's the shot pans down across the thing.
I can sort of sense the tension, but I just think this is kind of, you're very intense. That's kind of part of what I admire about you, you know. So I'm thinking this is you at your best.
You can hear then that shout echoing around the corner from you, which is, "Give me your lunch money." And both of you recognize it as Eamon.
I think Akane just pushes Jade out of the way and like sprints around the corner as soon as she hears that.
So we pick up exactly where Ren was. Ren was sort of weighing up that decision whether or not to give the lunch money. What did you come to? You spot Akane and Jade, or not Jade, coming around the corner?
About 1.5 seconds later, and I sort of do the going around the corner slightly wider thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like the momentum carries me around.
Yeah.
If you get the visual.
I do. Almost squeaking across the well-polished floor. You see your two friends. How does Ren behave now?
Yeah, well, like I said, that seems a bit unjust.
So,
I mean, Akane's going to shout out, "Hey!" the second that she sees Eamon towering over Ren.
I believe I've got some friend now too. So.
His bunch of thugs, they're probably about 3 or 4 years, older than you there, and they're training up to go into the military. They turn towards Jade and Akane and sort of start thumping their fists together and walking towards you, whilst Eamon keeps his attention on Ren.
Ren looks at these 3 goons going for Akane and says, "Hey, I didn't mean it like that. You can't go," and I'm trying to get after them, ignoring Eamon, for that matter.
Okay.
Because they're going after my friend, and that's not okay. And I don't know what I will, but I can't stand that.
Okay. So keep an eye, folks, in your regular turns and light turns. If you want to feel that you want to pull a light turn, especially at this specific moment in time to describe or control the narrative, you can do that. So, for instance,
I can do the wrong thing perfectly. I know what the wrong thing here is.
Absolutely.
I can now use Haru to trip one of those goons.
Mm-hmm.
And that will work perfectly, but it will, of course, rile them up totally.
Okay. Do you want to describe that? Is it just like a trip, or does its arms go out like on stretching mechanical arms?
No, I think it's just waddling a bit into the path. It's it doesn't look very strategic, but it actually isn't. I think that Haru isn't that tall, so the goon didn't look out for him or them, and then the goon just stumbles and Harun falls down, but Harun just bounces back up because he can do that. Maybe the goon can too. Probably the goon can too. But still, the goon stumbles and falls.
So I think ruins that happens, but perfectly that goon trips over and then trips into his friend, and they grab each other, pirouetting around like they're taking a dance position before falling flat on their backsides. So there's one goon in front of you, Akane. What are you doing? And then Jade, your brother, further away, looking quite confused at how and why Ren has got the audacity to walk away from them.
I think Akane speaks up for someone weaker, and she says to the one approaching her, she's like, "You leave Ren alone. Like, just because she's smarter than all four of you put together, doesn't mean that it needs 4 of you to fight her."
Him. I think Ren to him just
him. Sorry, him. Yeah. Sorry, I'm bad at that.
I just what I want to do is endanger someone instead of accomplishing something by kind of just adding my actual extra bit. You have no idea. You need all 4. Akane could take all 4 of you. What you really need to do, all 4 of you should come for Akane, and Akane could still take you, right?
Well, 2 of you are already down anyway.
Get up.
Um,
Get back. You know, and Akane will put you right back down. Then all of you, right?
Cool. So I would say, by the way, Will, you were talking smack to someone more powerful than you. I'm happy for you to take a token from that. Again, Sabine Wren failed. Ruined something perfectly, so it should be a token up. Your maximum tokens are 5, by the way, and endanger someone instead of accomplishing something. Yeah, I think Jade's effect is as expected as the 4 of them get up and start walking towards Akane, and they all take sort of fighting stances and say, "Come on then, psycho, fight us."
Well, I'm not sure how this works, but display impressive fighting technique, perhaps? Or I could spend a token and face down danger without hesitation. I don't know which ones work appropriately.
It's the if you want to, for instance, you're outnumbered here, and if you wanted to take them down seamlessly, that you would say, I'm going to do a heavy turn, and you are going to spend a token to do that, and you would describe how you do actually take them down seamlessly. Displaying impressive fighting styles, you are outnumbered 4-1, so you're going to lose, but it won't be a quick and easy fight. I think is the answer to that. You'll hold your ground.
You know what? I think I'm going to spend the token. And I think, she's going to, as one of them comes up at her, she's going to, step up off run up the wall slightly and, do a backflip and, display some, massively, extensively choreographed martial arts techniques against these sort of, bumbling goons, effectively.
Yeah. So you've trained all your life. They are muscly and very good, I suppose, at that closer commander stuff, but your flashiness outperforms them. And as you close in, and the last one standing is he squares up to give you a haymaker. How do you finish this? Either with violence or with a cutting remark?
I think he's whining back to throw, and I think Akane just stops in front of him and just say, she'll never forgive you if you hurt me.
Sort of stops and says, "Who?"
And I just point back over my shoulder at Jade.
Jade's been miming the fight alongside this, so it's been kind of like that, and just trying to map, that. And I pause and shout, "I won't."
And she'd never forgive me if I hurt you, so maybe we should just call this a draw.
He sort of takes a moment to reflect and extends his hand towards yours.
Fist bump it.
As you come in the fist bump it, he headbutts you square and says, "Like I care what she thinks," and walks away from you, leaving the 3 of you together as the bullies wander away.
I guess that means I keep my teeth.
And your lunch money.
Yes, thank you, Akane. That was very impressive.
I'm so sorry. I just wish he wasn't like this. Just because you're easy to beat up, there's no reason he should do that.
Yes, I agree with you.
And that was amazing, Akane.
She just shrugs and spits out some blood, I think.
Are you hurt at all? Maybe I can find a bandage or or stitch you together or something.
No,
If you
it's fine, Ren. It's fine. We should get to class.
Oh, wasn't there? Yes, of course. We have a little time. Yeah.
We should go before anyone sees me bleeding, or before any of the teachers find out we were fighting.
They were. Yes, you are right. Teachers are strange that way.
So we'll cut to the school assembly where everyone, probably a good 100 or so of you are stood in ordered lines, and and the headmaster comes in. General O'Callum. Does General O'Callum look like Kieran?
Muted.
Big. That's the main thing. He's big. I mean, he's like almost always the biggest guy in any room. He looks like he's basically got like he's lived on nothing but Guinness for his entire life, and it's made him this enormous creature of iron. His fist is probably about the size of my head. His head is like looks like it's a carved rock. He's that guy. This granite-like creature leading us all. Petrifying but kind of inspiring.
He comes to the stage and stands at the lectern and gives a salute that snaps so much the air cracks and waits for it to be returned by everyone. We took casualties 48 hours ago in the attack. The decision has been made that this is not longer safe for a place for children to be stationed. You are all being positioned out to fallback positions, and sort of notes are passed out with your names on them. Said you have 24 hours and you will be being shipped out to more defensible positions away from the new front. I would suggest you say your goodbyes. Many of you may not see each other again. Give her the courage. Well done. Goodbye. Salutes again with a snap and then leaves the stage. And you have a note printed with your names on it. It's like your family name, your name. And it says evacuation orders on the letter.
And do we go to the same place?
Do you open them here, or do you go somewhere to open them? Are you together when you unpin them? Mm-hmm. Or are they all in the set? Do you open them immediately? Describe what you do. Set the scene for me when you open them. Are you all together in the hall? Or have you gone elsewhere? Or are you alone?
I think we're all together, right? Like, I'd agree that we're all.
Yeah.
I see me rushing in after you've opened yours. You know what I mean? You guys open and then I turn up in a panic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think okay, so me and Ren open ours together, and I think actually no, I think that Akane just watches Ren open hers, and like maybe Ren, like Ren looks at Akane, and Akane is just like holding it. It's just like he'll never leave.
Now, before I reveal what's in them, you can see on your sheets as well, you can see tasks. Actually, I may not put those on the character keeper, but they're on the main PDF. I'll add them into the character keepers. We also have, they're there. Tasks, they are there. Ooh. Right, the tasks are effectively like your own play agenda and should be the sort of things you're trying to role play into during the sort of structuring of your character as well. So Akane opens hers and it says Beijing on it. Ren opens his and it says Adelaide on theirs. Jade opens hers and it says Delhi on theirs.
Maybe I can hack the mainframe so we can stay together. We would have to print these out again, but
I have to stay here.
Where are you? I rush in. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Wow.
It's Delhi. One of you have to be Delhi.
No, not yet, anyway.
Ren's going to Adelaide. It'll be nice.
You're not going to Adelaide. And immediately, I burst into tears, like a big, profound weeping tears. In that, I'm going to Delhi. Eamon isn't even going to Delhi. I'm going to be entirely alone. Like, I'm entirely and utterly alone.
You'll have your brother, Jade.
No, he's not. They're separating us.
Huh.
Eamon's got call-up papers. He's going to the line.
Eamon's going to, and that immediately. So I'm leaning into the explore vulnerability and the idea that suddenly the emotions have become very real for her. Like she's moved from, she's been, she's a survivor of the island war. She's been brought here. She's separated from most of her family. She's going to be separated from her parents now, and it's all far, far, far too much to her. What are we going to do? I say desperately.
I still think we might find some way to hack into wherever these orders came from, and maybe you're right, Akane. Maybe we can stay here. Just
You should go. You should both go to Adelaide. If you can make it so that you both go to Adelaide, then you should both go to Adelaide. I've got to stay here.
Why?
I can't leave. I'm not leaving.
We can't leave you.
Then that's so decided. We can't leave you either. And it's totally easier to hack the mainframe so that we could just stay here instead of making new orders that have to be printed out, and that's a lot of shenanigans.
Ren is an awesome nerd who can solve this problem.
Yes.
I believe in our awesome nerd.
Thank you, Jade. That is very comforting.
Stepping out of from behind the door at this point is General O'Callum, who looks at the three of you and says, "Your friendship is admirable, but we're losing. You need to get away from here. There's nothing any of you can do other than live the best life you can."
General, will my father be leaving as well?
The look in his eyes, even before he speaks, tells you the answer. No, Miss Kasuna, he's needed here.
I request permission to be called up, sir.
And me.
Yes, okay. If that's what it takes.
How old is Akane?
I don't know. 16, 17?
Okay.
Played by a 30-year-old, of course, but
just under probably call-up age, I'm thinking.
Yeah. The year below Eamon, I suppose.
How about Ren?
I think Ren's slightly younger, but in the same grade because he skipped one, so 15 maybe, or 16. I think he's actually 15, but on paper he's 16 because he's realized that is more advantageous. So he's fuddled around a bit. His parents are very confused now, because they kind of know that he's 15, but, well, okay.
How about Jade?
13, 14 is my feeling. I think that's a significant difference. And it's sort of and also cast in the 20s. I'm thinking the Derry Girls actors, in terms of they're all in their 20s and early 30s and playing 16-year-olds. It's that kind of age difference.
Okay. So he smiles at all three of you and says, "It hasn't got so bad that we need child soldiers. I know losing your friends is hard, but it's not safe. We just can't turn them back." And he walks away. What do you do?
Mm, damn, it's bad that he hurt us, but still, we might be able to fudge something up.
There's got to be. I'm not going anywhere.
No, neither am I.
If they can't find us, they can't send us away.
True.
So we go looking for stuff. You can find something, Ren. You know things. You know you
Yes.
you made Haru. You know there's like
Yeah. I can build. I think I have an idea. Maybe you know, this is we're at the coast, right? This is a coastal base.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I can just we have some containers that are a bit damaged, and I think we might use one of them to build us a nest really low the pier where we can hide out. I mean, it will be totally safe.
Jade, what is the green smell that doesn't belong here that you can suddenly smell quite strongly?
Cut fields, clover, grass that's just been entirely mowed. I just remember it's a family holiday from when I was really young. It was like the first time they've actually took us to. We went across the channel to Cornwall on holiday, and it's exactly how the fields smelt then. And it's funny because the memory, I was sort of crying anyway, and my tears sort of stopped for a second, even though the memory is actually really sad for me.
Ryan, what's the blue sound that you can strongly hear that doesn't belong here?
I think it's an electrical kind of sound, like a bzzz from some kind of high power generator or something, and then maybe there's even some smell of ozone in the air. It's mostly that bzzz noise.
And Akane, what's the red shape of energy that is now starting to draw itself and encircle the three of you?
It's like fire rising up from the ground around us.
You can sort of hear a disembodied voice saying, "We can help you. We can give you what you need to fight. If you're strong enough, noble enough, brave enough to bring peace back to this world, we can give you the potential." And you can hear this other voice saying, "They've already got the potential. They just need gifts and talents and bigger swords."
I shout urgently, Akane's definitely powerful and good enough.
I think that Akane looks alarmed at this and tries to push a tries to push through the flames, and then is can't break through, and then she turns around and goes like, "Who are you? Show yourself."
Yes,
Ren?
show yourself.
We all show ourselves to you, and this is sort of the light gets really strong and bright, flashing away from your eyes, and then when you eyes come back from the sparkling dots in front of them, you're standing on a freshly cut, just shorn lawn. There is a buzzing robot cutting the grass, and the flames that you can sort of see are the sun in the distance as you are standing somewhere looking down on Earth from a glass-covered dome.
Interesting.
Ren, did you make this? Is this one of yours?
No, this is not. No, I wonder what kind of material it is. Haru, can you cut out some of that?
All of a sudden, there's a response of, "No, I made this!" And a white lab dragging a full-size Tyrannosaurus Rex looks at all three of you.
I think Akane jumps in front of the other two and enters a fighting stance. Like, who are you? What's going on here?
I dive behind Akane, taking temporary cover.
I wonder if I can take a skin sample or something of that thing.
They're Atlanteans. Don't listen to them.
He says, I am Professor T-Rex, and this is my wife, Dr. Mollusc. And you see this glowing, glittering snail to the other side of you.
This is incredible. You said no. This is a trick.
What are you a professor of, sir?
Science!
Oh. Okay.
Trans-temporal, interdimensional, micromachinery science, specifically.
Is
You
this
wish
how
to
they got my
defend?
mother? They promised her that they could defend the world, and the next thing you know, she's Killer K, a general. No, I won't do it.
Look, Akane. If we do this, we might get more. We might get stronger, and then we can defend what we love. That seems like a good idea.
And we won't be alone. We're in this together, yeah? We said we're in this together.
And we can get to stay. Because if we're powerful, nobody gets to tell us to go to Delhi or Adelaide or Beijing.
And Eamon wouldn't headbutt you.
Eamon. Who cares about Eamon?
He's my brother. I'm a monster, but he's still my brother.
Dr. Mollusc says in a more peaceable voice, now don't worry about the haughtiness of my husband. He's not used to children.
We're not children, we're teenagers.
I stand corrected. She waves one of her sort of what's the term, antennary bits, and it sort of blobs out, and a screen comes on, and you can see looking down at the shinobi camp, and coming up through the water, you can see there's sort of this ripple of water, and a maudling singing sound managed or stopped just by the water. She says, your base, they're coming back. They're going to destroy your home. We can arm you, and we can prepare you, and we can train you. We can... She sort of cuts off, she says, we can help you win.
All I want is you to help me fight. We can do the winning on our own.
It looks at you. It's sort of big teeth showing, and it gives a hearty laugh. Goes, ha ha ha! I like you. You will be red.
Will you explain to us how this works?
And then can Then can Ren explain to us how it works as a kind of translator?
Dr. T-Rex sort of your Ren lifts up into the air, and Dr. T-Rex pulls her towards her with its mind, and it looks at Ren and says, even your intelligence, which is greater than half of the world combined, cannot understand my science.
That's a bit preposterous.
The snail says, you're right, but we can teach him.
Yes.
And then it looks at Jade cowering behind Akane and says, you've got the wrong one. I wanted her brother.
I'm don't. Eamon's gone. No, immediately it's too much, and I sort of back off and then run back and carry on holding to Akane. It's like you can't. He's lost so much, and I'm old enough now. He was there when it happened, and I wasn't. And if I was there, I could have helped him. I'm old enough now. They sent me away because I wasn't old enough, and I'm old enough now. Please, you can't do it to him. And if you gave him the powers, he would also continue to hurt Ren.
She's with us or none of us?
That too.
Defiance!
Ren spits out more blood on the floor.
And looks at it and says,
It
maybe...
seems
Oh, sorry, Sabine.
It seems logical you pulled the three of us. That's probably the best combination you are going to get. Because if we are a team, then we will work better. That's psychology.
And we're wasting so much time. The attack's going to be underway. You've got, it needs to be us now. And Akane's amazing, and Ren's pretty good.
And Jade is also very... Jade is nice. That has to be worth something.
I'm sorry I destroyed your dog a little once.
It does. I repaired it. It's fine.
Professor T-Rex looks and says, nice in war. And then I think Dr. Mollusc says, wars end, and you need people who are still nice afterwards. Pah! Fine! Give them it! And his mind again warms, and three fossils, reasonably very, very well formed, but the features are very clear. One lands in each of your hands. Says, there!
Oh my god, these are fossils.
There's some kind of power inside them.
Yes, there's a bone. I think it's a pterodactylus bone. I can tell by the shape. I started with dinosaurs.
I think this is a kind of rock.
I think it's the club of an ankylosaurus.
Looks and says, you are a moron. And he goes, but you are the best moron I have. And suddenly there is this glint of light, and you can feel yourself being pulled across from wherever you are. If we cut panel, you can almost see there's an asteroid that is circling the Earth, and you are sent down as three colorful beams of light landing on the tarmac of the base, exactly as the moment that the manatee and the bone soldiers step out of the ocean and start attacking the base. What do you do?
I think that Akane will... Are we now clad in our mech, in our Sentai uniforms?
No, you've got to figure out how to use it, and you've got to spend a token to do a heavy turn to transform.
Akane, don't take this the wrong way, but I don't think you can take these.
Well, I think that's all that and she looks at you, and she holds up that rock in her hands, and she says, we can do anything. And spends the the token to transform when danger appears.
Describe that transformation scene for us, okay?
I think lightning flashes outwards from the rock, and the sea serpent spirals out from it in a column of energy, and then flies up into the air, and then swoops down with its mouth open, consuming Akane. And then as it passes through into the ground, she's just garbed in the new Sentai armor, iridescent and glowing.
How does everyone react to that?
Interesting. Can you do that too, Jade?
Connie, you're a superhero now, right? Oh my god, I'm going to
Yeah.
dress up you. I'm going to completely dress up as you.
And I don't know if this is like cheating or something, but I'm going to order my squad to stay behind, stay safe, and then just jump straight at the manatee's forces and head into danger without my squad.
I'll let you take your token for doing that, and I'm probably that feels like a good end of episode 1 as the other two are deciding what to do, and Red has dashed off into danger.
Connie!
Cool. All right, so it's 10:15. We'll call that there. Then ready to go straight into big time fighting and giant robots next time. Okay, everyone, all right with that? Can we? I'd like to do a round of, I say, stars and wishes, and just any feedback or any questions you have about the rules or the mechanics so far. Kieran, I'll start with you, as this is one of your first Gauntlet games, and you've come into a crazy game, but you built it, so it's your fault.
It's like,
any stars?
Plus, I really like the world building. There's like, honestly, I would probably, it's a weird show, but it's probably a show I would, sit and watch. Listen, the professor, the professor and the little snail and their friends, and they're training us. I like all the world building. My kind of like minus is just my mic control, and I'm I'm playing my character slightly too broad in a couple of ways, so I'm just trying to find the right. I don't feel I've quite got her yet, but I'm flirting around it. That's my kind of thing. Yeah.
How can I help, or how can we help to find that? What sort of touch points are you looking for to help to find that?
I think it kind of was working better near the end. I'm not getting her serious emotions right. Like her serious emotions aren't strong enough, but kind of hers is like when she counter punches to something else, she's that extra beat after Akane's being serious, and that's kind of the rhythm of the character, I think. But like, I think I'm learning it.
Cool. Okay.
I hope so. Anyway.
I know. I think so. It's just it's giving people an hour that when you do character gen or world gen to sort of start finding their characters' voices, and then find their other forms, which we'll get into very much at the start of next game. Sabine, any stars?
Sure, stars for all of you. That was amazing. World building was so much fun. There are so many funny NPCs. I can't wait to meet them. The evil dodo sorcerer named Carl. I mean, okay, yeah. Kieran, I really like Jade. She is such a bright young thing, and I can't wait to see where she will go and if she will step out of the shadow of the older characters. And Akane is just, yes, it's perfect for that kind of Sentai thing as the one who charges into danger while everybody else stands there and says, what are we going to do? And Dave, thanks for bringing this, and thanks for inviting us and inviting me, because I wasn't on the game originally, but I think I feel very lucky to be here. So yeah, that was my stars.
Cool, thank you. Will, any stars?
The world building was great. This is very much like it's very silly, but it's definitely within the realm of a Super Sentai show, 100%. And I think it all added up to way weirder than I would have ever imagined on my own, by far. And my major stars are the other two players, who I think are both doing a really good job of hitting their playbook's tasks and style, which I am maybe slightly struggling with it, but I think that's mainly just a sort of first game thing, because I feel like the right thing to do in this context is going to change slightly as we gain our Sentai powers. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the right thing at this moment is clearly for the other two to go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Well, I think the journey for Red is from being a hothead to being a leader. That's definitely the arc that character goes on. My stars. First of all, thank you for stepping in at last minute. I am always glad to roleplay with you, and I thought we were going to have to drop this game, but I've been so looking forward to running it. So thank you for everyone actually for being willing to play something as off kilter as Power Rangers. But I needed some fun games after running Noir for a while. And the NPCs you've given me, I love it when players build great fun NPCs for me to play as well. So I'm looking forward to playing those. Go back in reverse order on the wishes. Well, have you got any wishes to?
I mean, this isn't a wish for, as in the sense of something that I feel like we should have done this session. This is a wish for generally, and it's just obviously I want to be in a mecha. Like, let's be honest, that's the major reason I signed up to this game, was to get in a giant robot of some kind, or a giant dragon-shaped energy construct, as this case may be, and fight things.
I think there's more than a chance we will be, say, striping between the fighting moments and the counter moments, and there's almost undoubtedly got to be mechas, because that's the rules, right? That is fundamentally the narrative pacing of a game like this. Sabine, any wishes for next session or things you want to see?
Oh, right now I'm pretty much fine with rolling with it and seeing where the story goes. So
okay,
yeah, and I want to see all these weird NPCs at one point, please.
Oh, you're definitely going to do that. That's fine. And again, the structure of this type of game is you fight the big bads and sort of move on towards the final boss. It's very much got that point. Kieran, any wishes?
I mean, of course, it's echoing everyone else, but definitely it's the wishes. I can't wait to knowing the NPCs are coming, and they are as like I can't wait to see what you do with the dodo. You know, like how are you going to act like a dodo? I've seen your Tyrannosaurus, I've seen your mollusk. What's the dodo now? What's the manatee? You know what I mean? And that's one of the fun things of the game is we see these things coming.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think I want to see, as I've sort of brought you all together and got some scenes from you, I think my wish is I want to see you. I want to see you more with things like your family and friends a little more. So we do mix up not just the big fight scenes, but actually the masked side of your lives as well. Has the mechanics made sense? It's still in a play test or a quick turn, but does that make, is everyone happy with where we are in some of the way that the turns and the structures work so far? Anyone need any clarity with that? It is literally about 2-3 pages of notes. You're using it to sort of structure your scene. So it's only 12 pages in the shared folder, and 6 of those are playbooks. So have a read through before next time as well. Is always my ask. Yeah.
My only thing is under regular turns. The one that seems out of place there is the displayed fighting technique, because everybody displays fighting technique. And in the sense that like those 6 to 9, the 7 to 9 ranges in Monster of the Week or whatever, right? Like,
yeah,
you know, because there's a cost there, right? Like you draw attention to yourself, or you take temporary cover, so it's fleeting or whatever. But displayed fighting technique, like it's like positive. I can't think of a negative way to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The way I've been thinking about it, if you think how I did that, and when you pulled that and I gave you the choice that the play impressive fighting technique is like a 7 to 9. I think the regular terms are effectively a 7 to 9, right? But the heavy turns or the light turns are like a 10 plus type roll, because they give have a cost, or they have a benefit immediately into the game. But that's valid. I'll have a think about maybe if there's a way to make there's a little bit more playbook specific as well. Okay.
It's always interesting because display. It's interesting the phrasing "display eccentric" because it implies any use to it. You know, that's the 7 to 9 of it, I think. You know.
Yeah, I think it's sort of allowing you to describe the scene. You're sort of framing and going into the scene. Right, I'm going to try and take action, leave myself vulnerable, and it's a narrative hook, often to let other people get in or move towards taking light or heavy turns. Remember your special turns as well. Actually, to be fair, to call it out, when you take on solving someone else's problem, they gain a token. Really, probably, I should have given Ren. You could have given Ren a token because you stepped into their fight. Blue, you step to support someone stronger. Your next heavy move does not cost a token, so similar to that. And green, to prove that you've learned what you've learned to someone else, they receive a token as well. So those are sort of your advancing points. Very often the regular turns will lead you into being able to take a special turn.
And so my special turn is like giving a token to someone. Blue's special turn is not spending a token of their own. And
Green gets a token.
Green is giving somebody else.
That token economy, it'll get clear as we play through it. But I quite like token economies in some ways because you're effectively then you've got to interact with each other in certain ways to get the bennies, right, to get those points to do the cool stuff. So if you want to have mechs, you've got to open up to each other. It's one of the things that sometimes frustrates me, things like masks, right? Not enough people do use things like the comfort and support move, which is so critical and gives you all the benefits, and then they forget to use it. Lovely, cool. That has been not at all the way I expect to be in, but it's wonderful and beautiful, and I do love world building with people. It's great. So I'm going to end the broadcast there, folks, and